You and I, we all know the science of, kids resistance training. What are your guys' thoughts on this? Because this is an area where a lot of parents are completely misguided.
I'll take that to start with, and I know you guys are dove deeper on the science side of this, but I think they're probably also looking at the fact that not only were you resistance training your kid, you're resistance training young girls. They probably thought that was like extraordinary.
Good point.
Yeah.
But and also too now, I mean, we all kind of figured out, I think for most part, at least I'll speak for myself, when I was understanding what they were doing in Europe back in the 80s and before that, I thought, well, it's not like every one of those lifters are midgets, and it just crushed their growth spurts. So it must be okay. Now we got so much information, I think, on everything about, childhood and adolescent training in terms of nutrition, right, Joy? In terms of creatine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, and all that stuff. But I mean, there's just so much out there now that you don't have to take my word for it anymore. I think that's there's a little bit of relief there, because back in the day, I mean, you're just banging your head against it's okay, but there really wasn't anything to point to other than us saying it's okay.
Good point. Yeah.
Dr. Peacock, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's still the same thing to me. It's one of those things that doesn't make sense and has never made sense. I mean, I get it, like, oh, it's going to stunt your growth, this, that, and the other, but just go watch kids out on the playground. Go watch them playing basketball. Go watch them playing football. Go watch the amount of stress they place their body under doing
Exactly.
things. And if you tell me they can't handle a basic resistance training program, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, imagine doing gymnastics at the age of 9, doing an aerial on a balance beam, but dumbbell curls and maybe a little goblet squat is dangerous, right? That's exactly the point. You've had even young kids play full contact football. The forces, the angles at which they're subjected to, there actually is nothing safer at the right velocity, the right load, and the right form than resistance training.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I've
always thought, like, when you have kids doing push-ups, it's resistance training. You have kids, they go on the monkey bars or whatever they call them now. I still call them monkey bars. Is that okay? I don't even know. It might
still have them.
It might insult the monkey for all I know. Yeah, they still have them, and kids, they'll climb them, and basically they're doing pull-ups on them. So they're doing resistance training without actually calling it resistance training. So yeah, it's just weird, but it's a long-standing, I guess, myth, particularly amongst parents of young kids, that don't have your kids lift weights because it might stunt their growth. Yet,
has that seemed to change at all? I mean, I think it has a little bit. I know the gymnastics portions, like with some of these, what would it be called? I guess these jungle gym where you run and jump and then you're in bounding.
Oh, like parkour or something? Isn't that parkour?
Yeah, but it's more like the what was the adult version of that, where they're swinging
the ninja, American Ninja.
I've seen kids do a lot of that now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
so that's
what used to confuse me was parents talking about heavy lifting, and then so the way I equate that, well, isn't heavy lifting like 90%, 95% and above, which is like 2 or 3 reps? Yet they don't mind a kid doing max out 3 push-ups or max out 2 pull-ups.
Right.
I thought that was unusual.